What's up, Rishan? I'm doing well, thanks, and you? I'm feeling a lot better. Was a bit sick this week, but yeah, recovered well. Oh, how'd it go? Okay, that's very promising. Huh. It'll be really good if you can salvage it, because yeah, that would really suck if you had to get rid of it. Especially these unique shapes. Like you don't really find them that often anymore. So yeah, how did it feel? Okay. No, that's good. That's really good. Oh, bolted. Okay, but that's even better. That's easier to work on. Um, it's much easier to take it off and to fix it and everything. So a set neck is a bit of a difficult thing to take off because it's the glue, and then you have to glue it back. And yeah, it's not the bolt on is by far the most modular design when it comes to guitars. It's just so much easier to work on to take it apart. A neck through is just good luck, bro. Good luck. STM. So that'll be the Sam Totman one. Yes, there we go. Oh, fantastic. Congrats. Broke two strings on the game. Oh man, how did you manage that? Oh. I haven't. How do you change strings? Because throughout my years, that has been the one indicator of why strings break, and it's mainly at one of three places. One is at the bridge, other one's at the nut, other one's at one of the tuning pegs. So depending on how you have put the strings in and tied them up and everything, that can really have a big impact. It's the same as fishing line. The actual fish doesn't always break the line. It's more the abrasion, the friction. It's 80 to 90% of the line breaks. So normally the contact points with the string is not very smooth or lubricated or whatever word you want to use. Sometimes there's a little bit of an abrasion that takes place at one of these three contact points. So it's the same with this guitar. Every time I restring, I use not sure where it is now, but I have this. I think it's Diodaria or Music Nomad lubricant, which you can just put like a small little drop, like very very small, at each of these contact points. So like here on the bridge, just there, and then in between the nut as well, and then also just at the tuning peg. And that has, I haven't broken strings in years. So I restring like a normal person on the sky. Yeah, no, I assume so. It's just some of these details can make a difference. Like I noticed with one of my guitars, the nut was a little bit rough, and it really just caused a lot of abrasion on the string, and then I broke it repeatedly, and it was the same string because of the nut slot. It wasn't smooth enough, so that caused a lot of problems. But I haven't broken strings in years. Yeah, like it really also depends on the tension of the strings that you're using and how hard you pick and everything. But those things for me is natural breakages. These other ones are a bit abnormal, and they shouldn't happen at all. Not even often. They shouldn't happen at all. So I think just have a look at that. It might be something. Also, just have a look at your bridge. When I put on strings, then I do this with each string. I go like this at each point, so that I can artificially, or not artificially, just stretch the string properly at each point, like that, with all of the strings. And then I tune it up, do the same thing again. I do that about 3 times, and then generally the string won't even stretch while I am playing. Because now the worst thing is when you get new strings, it's like they sound beautiful, but they go out of tune so quickly, and especially if you're bending and stuff like that. So so you kind of want to pre-stretch your strings so that it just stays in tune more often. That chord, I ordered that, so I put on a deposit for it. So it's coming. Yeah, I'll hopefully have it by the end of the month. It just depends as well, because I asked them to just keep it aside for me. So busy selling 2 of my other guitars. So if one of them sells, I'll probably use that money to fund the remainder of the purchase. But it'll be really cool to have it by the end of the month. But I'm excited. Oh, it looks beautiful. And yeah. Yeah, Floyd Rose bridges are very, very difficult. Like, my first interaction with one was on my best friend's Ibanez Falchion, which is this one's brother. It was the same range. There was the Falchion, the Glaive, and the Halberd that came out in the X series Ibanez in I think 2013, and that one has a Floyd Rose, and I'm like, how on earth does this thing work? I suppose if I owned one, I'll eventually just figure it out. And I mean, there's a reason they're still being sold. Probably the benefit does, once you understand it, it does probably outweigh the cost. But for me, it's a nightmare. I love fixed bridges. They just make everything so much easier. Also, just don't like the way a Floyd Rose bridge physically feels, or any sort of floating bridge. I don't like the way it physically feels on my palm. It's a more of a tangible thing. I like a fixed bridge. Even this, like, I'm not the biggest fan of this bridge, Tune-o-matic or something, because just I like having a specific spot to rest on. My favorite bridge that I've ever had was an Ibanez Gibraltar bridge, and but it was like from a couple years ago. Ibanez Gibraltar bridge, and it was just the best. It has like a nice sort of chunk of steel here where you can rest your palm, and then it like wraps around back there. So it's like nothing's really sharp or like in the way, I guess. That Gibraltar bridge is just the actual perfect one for me. Like, oh my word. If I have to get a fixed bridge or something, I would absolutely get that, or probably an Evertune. But I mean, Evertune is a little bit pricey. Oh man. And 12 gauge strings. Okay. I assume you're going to be tuning down to C standard or lower for that. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit tight, and you might break your headstock again. That's where my problem is. Gibson SG. Angus Young. That's the only reason I'll ever get a Gibson SG is just because Angus Young. Oh man. There we go. Yeah. Angus Young and Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath. Yeah. There we go. There we go. That's exactly right. Yeah, those two guys have pretty much made the SG iconic. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, I remember that. What a there's so many quotable lines from that movie, just like. All right, now stop right there. Okay, Lawrence, come here. Right, now play that thing you were playing. Now give me a B, and the lower one, and the middle one. No middle one. I changed my mind. And there he goes. And then, man, dude, that was such a great movie. Oh. Oh, just end that probably. Yeah, School of Rock is just fantastic. When you're not hardcore. Oh wow, that's very odd. Let me tune that properly. Why is it tuned all the way there? Custom neck for the Squire. What wood is it? Or rather, what profile is it? Is it like a C shape, or is it a flat neck? Is it a bird's eye maple or rosewood or ebony? Everyone has like a bit of a preference. I love the look of a bird's eye maple neck, but the physical feel of it is a little bit too. It grips my hand a bit too much. Doesn't really flow nicely with my hands. Rosewood, just because I started on rosewood and the majority of my guitars are rosewood or a rosewood-like material. It's just better. Now, C-shape profile, very nice, very very nice. Like I'm moving away from the Wizard 3 necks of Ibanez. Like my one PRS, it has like a fat C profile, and I really like the feel of that, so I prefer that. Fender maple neck, I think. Yeah. Like it's definitely bunch of different factors, but I mean the fretboard itself and the back can obviously be two different materials. Like I like the back to be sort of a roasted maple or a little bit of walnut and that, like on the back of the neck, the actual neck, and then the fretboard. I like the rosewood. The rosewood is just physically just feels better. But yeah, because I don't want to bother it. Yeah. Yeah, it's almost just easier buying a new neck than refretting it. It's a lot of work. It can be very expensive as well if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have the tools or the training or anything. So Nah, rather not. Let me try that again. So much string noise. Ugh. Go to the other bit. Bridge bit. 3, 4. Chuck Schuldiner is one of my biggest guitar heroes. Like, I've listened to all of Death's albums, I think, so many times. Chuck Schuldiner is like one of the greatest innovators when it came to just death metal as a genre and just melodically and everything. Like Chuck Schuldiner is just no, he's incredible. Like he's just you cannot really copy him because his harmonic choices are just so crazy. Like it's insane. Some of the things he does, I just wouldn't even think of doing. Like if you look at Bite the Pain, he just goes. And then that. Like I'd never think like what the flip. And then I think is it Story to Tell or Moment of Clarity? He just goes like. In silence. It's just like, how do you come up with that? Like, it's just so unorthodox, and it's just so awesome and just fun. Like, and you get other great songs like. Just like that whole thing. It changes time signatures like every second bar or something, and it's just it breaks so many rules. Like you just wouldn't think of writing something like that. Like it's so unique, and his vocals for every single album is different. Like the Scream Bloody Gore album, he was very, very like aggressive, very sort of, standard death metal sort of thing. But I mean, him and Possessed started the whole thing. But then you get to Spiritual Healing, and it's just it's a totally different thing. And then when you get to The Sound of Perseverance, the last one, and it's just high pitched. It's totally just like aggressive and shrieking, and just it's so good. But you can hear the words that he's saying, so it's like, Bite the Pain. Just favorite EVH song, I think probably Panama. I'll have to learn Panama, but it's such a cool song. Like it's just there's so much detail in there that I actually need to learn. Panama is just it's such a great song. It's an incredible song. So I need to actually learn that. My friend did a rock gig with a hollow body. Hollow bodies are really nice. Like I have 2 hollow bodies. It's a Duesenberg and a what do you call what's that other guitar? Pierre is single cut semi hollow that I have, and it's just like it's incredible. And yeah, hollow body guitars. I was introduced to PRS really by a guy by the name of Emil Wurstler from what do you call it? His band's name is Darth, and it was just he's the reason why I learned alternate picking. Like it's something a lot of guitarists take for granted, but I didn't even think of using alternate picking until maybe 2 years into playing guitar, and then he showed me this riff from Ovum, and I'm like, damn, dude, that is crazy. And then I became a much better musician as a result of that. Yeah, Chuck is just fantastic. Oh my word. Yeah. I am South African. Yeah, live down south. It's probably the accent. You're talking about has the KX707 a little by the KX700. Yeah. I would also actually get that because it's also got the Evertune bridge, and it has all the nice specifications. So I would absolutely get that. But I mean, obviously it's a pricey instrument. Thought you were Kiwi at first. Nah, I'm not a Kiwi. We actually win the Rugby World Cup. Just saying. We don't choke. Yeah. But yeah, the accents are a lot like overlapped, just because of history and everything. Yeah, sorry, I just had to go. I had to go there. So we 4 Rugby World Cups, bro. I'm just saying 4. And yeah, I mean the British accent. It's like the very like colonial English people in South Africa have very much like British sort of twang when it comes to their language. Then you get the South Africans that went to Australia and New Zealand. It's also like the accents are blending so much now, and for me, like mine is influenced. I went to an Anglican school, so Anglican's very like British sort of denomination, and but my school is Scottish in South Africa. Yeah, and it's not my home language either. So a lot of my home language also bleeds into some of the English pronunciations. Not much because I went to a school, an English school, but like a lot of it was, it was difficult at first when I just went to school. I was like, how the frick does English work? It was crazy. Yeah, JS. Yeah, there's a Ibanez Halberd. It was really lucky find. I've been looking for it for years. They were only in production for like, I think 1 or 2 years in 2013, and I managed to find one the beginning of this year, and I'm like, I need it. I freaking need it. Ugh. Especially because I can down tune quite a lot with it because there's a 27-inch scale length, so it helps quite a bit. Yeah, like it's so rare. Like you don't really see it. Oh, I play rugby in school. Yeah, like casually. The thing is, I'm a lot shorter than a lot of the other people in my. I mean, you know most South African rugby team. These guys are freaking trucks. So I'm a lot shorter. And I played more squash. Squash and hockey was my main sports. Just because I had a lot of anger problems when I was young. Like when I was playing rugby, I played rugby in junior school, but then in high school it just became a lot more casual because even it's a bit like he's a freaking monster. Like what? Dude is huge. So yeah, I can't tackle a guy like that. So I'm like, let me rather play a bit more, not brute force sport. So I did a lot of squash and hockey. So there is some like contact and everything, but it's not like rugby where you like slaughter people. would be really fun, but yeah, it's much as the genetic lottery, the genetic hand that I received. But like when I did play, I would play scrum half because then I would not a chance be a forward. I'd be like a back or scrum half. Tried when I played under 15A. Yeah, 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 yeah. Like it's really fun. Like it's this. It's like it's just really really fun. But it can get very dirty. People do break the rules, and I mean it's just raw power, and then people sort of lose their rational minds, and you just sort of revert back to your ape brain, and you're just like, you just wanna clap eggs. So yeah, it didn't really help with my upbringing. So going to a little bit less of a violent sport was, I think, a good switch for me. Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed hockey, really enjoyed squash. It's super, super fun. And I'll still play squash now and then. It's really a fun sport, and you don't have to deal with teammates. Like I'm very much a control freak when it comes to that. So now, if I have to rely on my teammates and they just miss the ball or something, I'm like, what the flip, dude? Ugh. But yeah, I already shown you on your phone. Cool. Tornado of Souls. I'm actually busy transcribing that because I want to learn the solo. So, but like the beginning is just such a cool riff. It's like so epic. Oh man, no, I love that. I love that song. Like it's really really cool. But then the solo, I was transcribing it, and certain parts are just really really difficult. I think the one section is gonna be insanely difficult, just because of how far you need to stretch. Like it's just like, bruh, like it's insane. So I'm thinking of cheating and just going, like just tapping it. I mean, like, frick, dude, it's gonna sound just as cool. I just need to figure it out. On that level yet. I'm trying to learn sweep picking. Sweep picking is like one of those things that are just so fantastic, and it just makes so much sense. But it's really difficult just mechanically because you're breaking so many established patterns. Like you normally understand each note that you play is one movement, and if you play two notes, it's two movements. But now you're playing two notes in two different time slots, so it's not a strum, but like it's two notes that you're executing with one motion, which is just it just breaks your entire brain. So for my tone, I'm using Neural DSP's archetype Petrucci. I love Neural DSP stuff. I've got I think like 4 or 5 of them, but the Petrucci one is just like it's just fantastic. It's the most versatile one in my opinion. I really, really enjoy it. And you can use it for anything, cleans, drives, everything. So really, really cool. But yeah, like the sweeping stuff, the sweep picking stuff. There's a bunch of different approaches you can take to it. But yeah, there's so much advice online. I think the best guy for this stuff will be Uncle Ben, Ben Eller. On YouTube. He's probably the best when it comes to explaining some of this stuff. Like Ben Eller, just have a look at his stuff, and it's just fantastic. Oh my word, he's really good. Nolly, yeah. I tried the Nolly. I was really like into it, but then it's like it can do a lot, but the other plugins sort of specialize in various areas, and they do everything that Nolly can do, a segment of what Nolly can do better. So Nolly can do everything every other one can do, but each one does what Nolly can do better. So yeah. Have a look at Ben Eller, fantastic guitarist. He filled in for Mastodon as well recently after the passing of I can't is it Brent Hines or Bill Kelleher? I can't remember the name of the one who passed away, but it was one of the guitarists, the guy with a tattoo on his head. I think that's Brent Hines. But yeah, then Ben Eller filled in for them. So yeah, to stream the VST output, this is a very interesting tool. So it's all because of my audio interface. So I'm busy using the Audient Evo 4. So the Audient Evo 4 has a built-in loopback function. So because of that, I can sort of use the output of my computer or whatever as a microphone input for OBS. So I'll send the output of whatever I'm hearing to an input on OBS, and then that is for the stream. So it helps because then you hear exactly what I'm hearing. So it's like there's no room sound or just loss or anything. It's literally just exactly what I hear, you hear. So you can do quite a bit with that. Let me have a look at this piece again. Started reading Metallica tones, struggling to dial something in. So for metal, like I think depending on how heavy you want to go, probably the best one for me is the Fortin Nameless. That is like the Meshuggah, the really, really heavy stuff. For Metallica stuff, they have I think the Mark II C Plus, which is based on the Metallica amp. So if you want specifically Metallica, I think just have a look at that. But you can have a 14-day trial, I believe, and then you can just test it out in demo and see if you actually like it or not. That's such a nice thing that Neural DSP does. It's like give you an unrestricted demo, no static, nothing. You can try it properly, access to all the presets and everything, and then just evaluate it properly. So definitely have a look at that. And yeah, just like get a bunch of them and then sort of demo them and everything. Use some of the presets, but also just get a bit of an idea how to build the specific tones. Excuse me. I'm using it standalone. I can use it through a DAW, but it's so much easier just using the standalone one. Like otherwise I have to open the DAW and then I need to route stuff and there's other volume stuff. So I just literally just boot the plugin, open your standalone, and my OBS, drop my pick. My OBS is already set up with everything. So literally whenever I have to practice or something, there's no obstacles. I literally just plug my guitar in, start the program, start streaming, and then I'm done. Like it's really, really nice, convenient. Okay, let's see if I can do this. That's a problem. It's not muscle memory yet. So trying to play it at speed is a bit of a problem, and it's not even full speed. That's 90%. Let me take it to full speed quickly and see how messy I can make it. Oh, such a damn fast piece. And then the other riff that I've been trying to have a look at. If I was gonna go, yeah, absolutely. Like he's fantastic. Obviously, certain things might not work for you, but he's fantastic. Like he's Uncle Ben. He's like really, really good when it comes to this sort of stuff. And a lot of the way I teach my students as well is very similar to the way he does. But he's obviously a lot better than I am physically playing. So yeah, you can definitely learn a lot from him. And he's got like hundreds of lessons already. I'm just starting out. So I'll eventually catch up to Uncle Ben. So yeah. Okay, let me check. Trying to get better with metal, but struggling so much with the repertoire. Like song progressions in difficulty. Like I just like far more difficult stuff. No, I relate to that 1,000,000%. That is very much a common thread. Like people will watch a Polyphia song and they'll be like, okay, I wanna be able to play this tomorrow, and it's like, my bro. Don't know how to tell you this, but it's gonna be a few years. But yeah, it's also why I started this channel and everything. I'm busy making a bunch of lessons exactly with that progression, that difficulty progression. Like you want things that are approachable, and the way I'm structuring it is really interesting for me, because I'm a bit of a gaming nerd as well. So like each song for me is a boss fight, and each boss is at a different level. So like if you want to try out a level 10 boss, like you can compare a bunch of the bosses like in a certain level range or something. But if you want to fight like a level 60 boss, like rather work on the other bosses first, get your skills up a little bit, and then maybe you can try out one of those bosses. So yeah. Panama, I need to learn Panama first. Like I have not learned it. But that's a nice thing about me streaming my practice and everything, because you can literally also see how I go about learning songs and how I go about practicing them and everything. And it'll also show you, like, you don't need to practice 4 hours a day in order to enjoy this instrument. If you look at my channel, like I practice every single day, and it's normally early in the morning, and it's maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. But the difference is I'm consistent. Like I'll miss maybe 1 or 2 days for various specific reasons. Like if like this week I was sick, I missed I think 1 or 2 days this week because I was sick. But the thing is, I'm consistent, and being consistent with a little bit of time is the main thing that'll set you apart. So yeah, Silvera. Gojira is actually a very, very good band to look at. It's not too difficult, so you can practice some of their stuff. So Silvera. I can't remember. Something like that. I haven't learned it properly. I'm playing purely from memory now. So like, but he uses a like an octave switch, so that it's like, even though he's playing it, it sounds an octave higher, and that's so cool. But then, obviously, the best Gojira song. Yeah. I also have to learn that properly. But like that song is just so epic. Like, oh my word, that backbone. Um, yeah, struggle with the rhythm on that so much. Yeah. Like the rhythmic aspect can also be a little bit of a challenge if you haven't really mapped it out. But stick around. Like, definitely subscribe and everything, because I'm gonna be going through all these things. Like, it's insane how much I have planned for this channel. Like, I have an entire diagram on my planning and everything about like every single aspect of the guitar, and it's all focused around learning songs, because that's the main reason why we why we play this instrument. Like, nobody learns music theory for the purpose of music theory knowledge. Like, you learn it so that it is easier to learn songs and play. So I've divided it into 6 main categories. So like this can have technique, music theory, gear, and then it's performance and improvisation, and then the two main things, the reasons why we actually play guitar, which is dungeons, where all the bosses are, all the enemies we're going to be fighting, and then the arena, where you fight parts of the bosses. Because now, like right now, what I just did was I played a riff from Silvera, and I didn't play the entire song, but I mean that's like a memorable part of it. So now, in order to defeat the boss, you first have to learn the parts of the boss itself. So I sort of separated the two, because not everyone wants to learn the entire song, which is perfectly fine. Some of us just want to just defeat like a segment of it in the arena. So yeah, like really cool stuff on the way. Super excited just for all the stuff, but I'm still just trying to get a little bit more consistent with the stuff. I'm not 100% sure what to call the lesser versions of the bosses in the arenas. Like, you have a boss in a dungeon, cool, but now we take a part of that boss and we stick it in an arena. Like, I don't want it to be breaking the immersion of it. I'm very nerdy when it comes to that, but I'm thinking of like either using it as like boss phases. Like, let's say a song has 3 riffs and 1 solo, so then the boss will consist of 4 phases, and then in the arena you can fight one of these phases of that boss, or maybe like a shadow of that boss or something. So yeah, like phases really does make more sense. But I just wanna work that detail out, because there's so many ways I can approach this. But like it's really the same as playing Dark Souls or Elden Ring or World of Warcraft, any of these RPG games. I'm like, it feels exactly the same. I'm studying a boss. I'm trying to learn their move set. I need to make sure that my gear and everything is in alignment with what I'm trying to accomplish here. And this thing's gonna humble you. This thing is gonna take you out. So like, you wanna figure out what are you gonna do to beat this boss. And yeah. Like World of Warcraft, man. Oh man, I grew up with that, so it was really cool. So yeah, you'll see a lot of influence of that. You'll see a lot of World of Warcraft influence, Skyrim, and like Dark Souls sort of universe. Just because it's the same thing now, because you can sort of use cheats, but I mean you're only cheating yourself really. You can defeat the boss using cheats, or you can bitch and moan and say that the developers of the game made the boss too difficult. Or you can, as we say in Dark Souls, you can get good. And that's exactly why this channel is called Get Good. But it's like guitar good. Get good. So I'm going full in with the memes. I've been playing since, let me check, 2009. Yeah, get good. Exactly, you can get good. But like, I made it guitar good, like, so like GUIT. Oh man, if nothing ever happens with the channel, I'm just so proud of that. But I've been playing since 2009, so I guess that'll be about 16 years, if my maths is correct. Yeah, 16 years. Yeah. But yeah, like you can definitely join. I stream every single day to get my practice started. It varies on times, but In South African time, it'll be like normally 7 a.m. just before I go to work, and then sometimes in the evenings as well. But yeah, you're free to ask as many questions as you want. The more questions you ask, the more I understand what needs to be taught, what people need to learn. So, and remember, I'm looking at a full picture, but a person who's been playing for a less amount of time will maybe only see a segment of that picture and they won't understand how it fits into the rest. So, if I get that sort of input from people, then I know exactly, okay, maybe I should approach this a different way when it comes to teaching this sort of thing. Because I have students like locally as well. So there's the more questions I get will help me as a teacher and as a musician, because then I have to rationalize everything that I do. I've been playing for 1 year and I can play Sweet Child of Mine solo. Oh man, that's really really good. Like the Sweet Child of Mine solo is very very. It's like one of my favorite solos, and I couldn't play it in the first year that I started guitar. I could play the first half of it, but then as soon as he starts with the wah, like the second half when he starts shredding and stuff, I'm like nah. Then I gave up. But the first half I can play. But no, that's very very good. Like you're 15, very good to start young. I think I started when I was 12, so 12 or 13. I think 12. Yeah, probably 12. But it's never too late. The only difficult thing is like I see, Jay, is you I guess you started at like maybe 27. I guess, which is not a problem. You just need a little bit of guidance, because now you've lived a lot of your life without, let's say, a musical framework in when it comes to learning and just motor skills and everything. So now you are trying to tap into other areas of expertise, and you're trying to transfer those skills to play the guitar. It's like language. When you learn your first language, you have no framework. You have nothing. So it's easy to sort of learn a language because you have a complete blank canvas. When you learn your second language, what happens almost 90% of the time is you translate everything. So you'll learn a word or something, and you'll be like, "What does this mean?" Oh, it means this in this language. And now that's the same with what you're doing now. Like you haven't necessarily developed a guitar framework at a young age or anything. So now you're trying to impose certain other learning frameworks onto the instrument, which can work. Not always, but it can work. And if you just understand how the cognitive aspect works when it comes to the guitar and learning an instrument and everything, then you'll absolutely be able to learn this instrument incredibly fast. That's why it's good to absolutely. It's extremely humbling. Like I still get humbled with so many pieces. My wife's a professional pianist, and when I stand in front of the piano, I'm like, what the frick's going on? Bar chords are very, very useful. I'll actually working on a lesson specifically with bar chords and the cage system and everything. So yeah, definitely stick around. Ask questions. There's no stupid questions. The more questions I get asked, the better I'm able to assist. So no, I'm definitely going deep into it with mainly the cognitive part of it. Because I can give you a million exercises, but if you don't actually know how to apply anything, it's useless. You can bang your head on the desk running the major scale over and over and over, and you can still suck as a musician. So I rather want to teach you how to think about the instrument, how to think about practicing, how to think about music, how to think about chords. So the paradigm is what I want to develop. And I do this with all my students as well. It's a very much a mental thing that we want to develop. We don't want to just do things. We want to understand why are we doing these things. How is this helping us? How does this fit into the grand scheme of things? So, yeah. Figuring out if a closed or open grip for strumming hand is better. It's a very very interesting observation as well. I use, depending on the specific um, song or something, I'll use a closed grip. I'll use an open thing. The thing is, there's so many moving parts with this because you need some sort of anchoring. Now, with an open grip, you can anchor your pinky over here, and that really, really helps. And the only thing is, then you're going to be using like more of your thumb joint for picking instead of your wrist, which might not be an issue, but the wrist is a lot stronger. And doing compound movements might be sensory overload for your brain when you're developing muscle memory. So it is better to limit your cognitive load whenever you're doing repetitions. But it's still not a problem. Some things for me are easier when I have an open hand. Some things are easier when I'm closed hand. But for strumming, generally, I'll have like an open hand, just because the three fingers add weight to it, so it sort of guides the hand to go to certain places. But yeah, it's like palm muting feels really, really strange with a closed grip. Absolutely. It's also, it just feels really, really weird. Like, it feels really weird. That's also why when I'm chugging or something, I'll use an open hand grip. What you don't want to do is flex, or rather extend your other three fingers. You want to relax them. One thing I speak about a lot is your resting position, or your neutral position, when it comes to all of your muscles and everything. Like, your hand doesn't naturally sit like this. It naturally sits like this. It also doesn't naturally sit like this. It's like this. So it's in between. So the closer to your natural resting position you can get your muscles and your body, the better. You don't want to exert extra effort that you don't need to, because that's, again, information that you're sending to your brain during practice, and it's overload. So even with an open hand grip, my hand will be in resting position. It's just like that. With a closed grip, it'll sort of be close to the resting position, but I won't do this. I won't close my hand properly. I'll just curl my fingers above the strings instead of next to the strings. So that's just one thing, especially thumb on fretting hand. Exactly. Yeah, you can really add a lot of tension that's unnecessary. But yeah, now I'm gonna get into this stuff in some other time. Right now I'm gonna go make some food and spend some time with my family. So yeah, thank you for joining in, and definitely stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff on the way. So again, ask as many questions as possible. And my name, that's Nihan. So my name, let me just write it here, because it's a very uncommon name, Nihan. Awesome, man. Check out Ben Eller as well. Fantastic guitarist. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.